What's going on, fan club? Star Wars The Last Jedi. Spoiler review, spoiler review, spoiler. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Alright, I'm gonna be spoiling some things. So if you didn't see it, stop watching. Alright? Alright. Um First I want to talk about the first trailer that I saw for Ready Player One. Now, I'm not too familiar with Ready Player One, but I could have sworn I saw the Iron Giant at the end of that trailer. Uh, Let me know if I'm seeing things, all right? Because maybe I'm seeing things. I could have sworn I saw the Iron Giant run into the screen right at the end of the trailer before the trailer title came up. All right? So, let me know if I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you saw the same thing I did. All right, guys? All right. Now let's get into it. I pretty much got a layout of the character traits, color palette of the movie. Uh, Not our traditional Star Wars. The best scenes, the music, and some sacrifices in the movie. All right. So let's see what else I got here. Yep, that's pretty much the gist of it. All right. So here we go. All right. Traits of the characters. All right. Poe, a hell of a pilot and protective. He's a skilled pilot, as we saw in the beginning of the movie when he was taking out those surface cannons, and he's very protective because he was always trying to he's always trying to find a way to protect the resistance survival. So he was willing to disobey orders in the whole 9 yards in order to do that. All right, Luke Skywalker, stubborn and smart. All right, he's stubborn because he refuses to face the fact that he can't even forgive himself forever. You know what I mean? He can't even forgive himself. You know, he's trained. I'm pretty sure he's trained thousands of Jedi's, thousands among thousands of Jedi's, but he cannot come to grips with the fact that he's probably failed one, and he can't accept that. So he's he's stubborn in his own psyche. He's stubborn in his own psyche. Well, thanks to Yoda for coming to him as a Force ghost and making him see the reality of things. That it's your greatest failure, as Yoda said. I'm quoting. It's failure who is the biggest teacher of it all. All right. He's smart because sooner or later he realizes that it's smarter to confront Kylo Ren towards the end of the movie. In Act 3, he had a killer start of Act 3 with his scene. A killer start with Act 3 of his scene. It was awesome. All right. See the movie, it was pretty much Luke versus lasers. And then pretty much Luke versus Kylo in the illest fashion. So you guys should definitely go out and check that out. All right, Finn. He's clever, caring, and brave. He thinks ahead. He's not afraid to face the enemy solo. Ah, see what I did there? He's not afraid to face the enemy solo. That's why he decided to confront was it for Femora or Femora, that silver looking stormtrooper looking chick. So he's clever, caring, and brave. General Leia, wise and understanding. Even though she ordered Poe to return to the ship in the beginning, she understood when Snoke's ship tracked them through light speed, which they said was impossible. All right, they had to immediately defend themselves, which was probably why she allowed Poe to strike first. When he said permission to blow something up, ma'am, she was like, permission granted, after she told him not to go back out there. All right, so she had to do what she had to do. That's why she's a good leader. You know, she's a very, very fearless leader in the most calm and relaxing way. You know, I'll fight under her command any day of the week. All right. Rose, she's very self-controlled and she was very sweet. She was very kind-hearted and didn't seem to lose control of herself at any point in the movie by letting her emotions take control of her, which is good. Ray, She's determined and hopeful. She's determined to learn about the Force and sees the positive and negative in Kylo Ren. I think Kylo's her brother. Let me know if I'm mistaken. I think Kylo's her brother. So she was open-minded enough to see the positive in him, even though there's no positive in him, unfortunately. Because at the last second, she thought that he might have been saved. He turned on her. I was about to say he turned evil, but I think we all know that he's evil in some ways. All right, Snoke, ruthless and manipulative. He's manipulative because he manipulates the weak minds and controls their minds because in my opinion, he's afraid to be outsmarted. He's afraid to wait. Let me see. Yeah, he's afraid to be outsmarted by a mind just as strong as he is. You understand? That's why he went after the other guy. I forgot his name. The one that was talking so much, that was getting choked out a lot by the Force, by Kylo and Snoke. And Kylo, he's weak because of pretty much Rey. All right, and because they have some sort of connection there. All right, let's see what else. It's probably why he chooses individuals with any weaknesses. All right, Kylo Ren, he's conflicted, he's naive, and he's unwise. He's pretty much confused and out of control. Pretty much confused and out of control. Now I want to talk about the color palette. The color palette, there's not much I can say about the color palette. I only have one note here. A lot of different shades of interesting blue and gray. There's a lot of different shades of interesting blue and gray in there according to the scene and what kind of emotion that it expressed and conveyed and what color the story was asking for in that scene. All right, not our traditional Star Wars. All right, no Darth Vader, you know, none of that. You know, no pod racing, not much lightsabering, except for towards the end. So I kind of missed some of those. Porgs took the place of the cute and cuddly Ewoks. Remember Ewoks? Yup. All right. So Porgs are pretty cool. The best scenes in the whole movie, speaking of Porgs, is when Chewie was about to eat a cooked porg while the other Porgs were watching sadly. That was pretty cute. Rey training at the top of the hill on the island, it kind of reminds me of the Karate Kid. Remember when he was doing karate with his arms and feet on top of the mountain? That scene reminded me of the Karate Kid in that scene. Space battle after Snoke's ship tracks Leia's ship through the light speed. They said it was impossible, but they had to do what they have to do. That was what I was talking about in the beginning when Leia told him to come back to the ship at first, but when they tracked him, he asked her for permission to go back out there and handle the business. So he went out there, he sure handled the business. Luke meeting C-3PO and C-3PO changing Luke's mind by replaying Leia's transmission from A New Hope. Now, it goes back to that nostalgic feeling. It goes back to tradition. Star Wars always find a way to bring back the past, which is it's awesome. It's the way that they created that scene was amazing. I remember I was sitting there in the audience and I heard someone all the way up in the upper section as that scene was playing out, as soon as Leia's transmission came across the screen, that person was like, yes. And that's what we want. That's what we want. We need throwbacks like that to remind us that this whole story is connected. You know what I mean? So that was a nice scene. Rey and Kylo back to back fighting with those fighting those red soldiers. That was an awesome scene. That was an awesome scene. I don't know if those red soldiers were martial artists or they were like masters of the Force themselves. But Kylo and Rey, they sure did handle their business. And I like the part when Kylo was getting choked out by one of the red soldiers and Rey threw the lightsaber. He caught it and he caught it in such a way where the tip of the saber was pointing at the red soldier's head. So he activated, and guess what? A hole in the head. He's done. That was an awesome scene. We had a lot of cheers and claps on that one. All right, Luke versus the laser scene in the reveal of him being a hologram image of himself as he fights Kylo Ren. That laser scene was awesome. I still wish that we actually saw him deflecting the lasers with his lightsaber individually, one at a time. But that scene was already cool on its own. And the reveal of him being a hologram, everyone lost their mind. I almost lost my shit. All right, I almost lost my mind. All right, it was that scene was one of the most memorable scenes in that movie. I can't say the whole Star Wars story, but in that movie, that was the most memorable scene. So, I'm definitely gonna see the movie again. Hopefully, I'm definitely gonna see the movie again. So, I want to talk about the music real quick. Not much notes here about the music. John Williams' score is so uplifting. It's inspiring and loyal to the original movies. All right, it never took me out of the scene. It never distracted me from the plot. It should be nominated for best music score in a film. It should be, and it fit the mood of every scene. It definitely did. It fit the mood of every scene, and it fit all story points, all character plot lines, everything. The music in my eyes was just perfect. There's a few things that one thing that I was hoping to see in this movie was, or in any of the either Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, I was hoping to see Leia reunite with Han and Luke and have a trio back-to-back fighting scene like Kylo Ren and Rey did. All right, I was hoping to see that because I still want to see all three of them on the same screen together. I don't know if we've seen that yet. No, we didn't see that yet because in this movie, Leia saw Luke for the first time. Well, she saw his hologram, which is crazy, but you guys get the picture. You guys know what I mean. Happy to see General Leia's involvement in the future of the people and the soldiers of the Resistance. It's happy to see her leading. And yeah, she does know how to lead. Let me tell you, she's very wise, and she knows what she's doing. All the space battles were entertaining and fun to watch. All of them, as always in Star Wars. I don't need to elaborate anymore. They were all fun to watch. Visual effects were a joy to watch. Practical was Yoda CGI or was Yoda practical effects? Let me know in the comment section. I think Yoda was a practical effect because I'm a big fan of practical effect, and I know practical effect when I see one. All right, so let me know if Yoda was CGI or practical effect. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I think he was a practical effect. All right. Sacrifices in movies. I'm a big fan of sacrifices in movies. My favorite sacrifice in the movie is in the movie Armageddon with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck, when he said, "We win, Gracie," and then they were like, "Push the button," and he hit the button, and the asteroid split in half. But anyway, see the movie. That's a good movie too. All right. Let me see. Sacrifices. There were a lot of sacrifices in this movie. All right, and a lot of near sacrifices. I'm gonna go over them. Finn attempting to disable the breaching cannon. That's what I was talking about in the beginning, the very first scene in the movie when he was trying to destroy the breaching cannon. He wanted to get the last breaching cannon, and she told him no, disregard, and he turned off the mic. I think he took his earpiece off. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this last surface cannon." And I thought that, well, even though it was the beginning of the movie and he couldn't have sacrificed himself because he needs to be in the rest of the movie. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, a great scene it was. All right? Soldier girl. I don't know her name. The Asian soldier girl in the beginning, responsible for dropping the bombs onto the enemy ship in the beginning. I thought she was going to I thought she was gonna die earlier, right after she touched her medallion and closed her eyes. But when she opened her eyes, I was like, yeah, she got one more fight in her. One more fight in her. Kick that ladder. She kicked the ladder. The remote fell. And once it fell right past her, I was like, yep, she's done. But she caught it. She caught it just in the nick of time, pressed the button, and the sacrifice was well worth it. Sacrifice was very well worth it. That was a nice sacrifice in the beginning of the movie. Poe. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. No. Finn attempting to disable the breaching cannon. That was in Act 3. I'm sorry, guys. That was in Act 3. I'm looking at my notes here. Finn attempting to disable the breaching cannon. That was at the end when they had like the what do you call that? They wanted to breach the metal door to get to the rest of the resistance inside that cave. All right. Finn, he was piloting the plane, and he was pretty much trying to collide into it, so it exploded. But that didn't happen because Rose managed to smash into him and diverted him out of the lane of travel of the inside of the cannon. All right, so his sacrifice didn't come to his sacrifice didn't wound up not being completed. Let's talk about Soldier Girl. Now Poe alright, this is where we are. Poe disobeying General Leia's command to return so he could destroy the last surface cannon. That was in the beginning. That was in the beginning when she told him to return to the ship, and he said no. He cut the mic off, took his headphones off, and then he did what he had to do. He pretty much went to sacrifice his life to get that last surface cannon. I would have left that shit alone. But anyway, Admiral Holdo. I didn't like her at first. Because she didn't seem that she cared about the resistance enough to know that we have to do something now. You know what I mean? We can't wait. We have to strike down. We have to make the first move. Sometimes you got to make the first move to be successful. All right? But she redeemed herself for me when she turned the ship around, jumped into light speed into Snoke's ship, saving the transports. That was awesome. Everybody lost their mind in that scene in the movie theater also. Everybody lost their shit, and I did too. All right. Luke, he definitely knows how to fish. I need to take fishing lessons from him. I like when he was on the mountain, and he lifted the staff up, looked down, boom, and up comes the fish, and he's carrying the fish on top of the hill. That was an awesome scene. So he definitely knows how to fish. We should take lessons from Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker fishing session. All right, let's see. The space scene with Leia. I didn't expect her to use the Force. I didn't know she could use the Force. Who taught her how to use the Force? Was she born using the Force? Or how? How? I don't know. Did Luke teach her the Force? I don't know. But when she got blown out in space, I thought that, okay, yeah, that was her kill-off moment. But she managed to pop back. She managed to use the Force and open up her eyes in space and float back into the ship. So that was pretty good. That was pretty cool. I still want to know how she know how to use the Force. But anyway, I guess lastly, I want to talk about the subliminal message with the sun setting amongst the clouds, symbolizing Luke's fulfillment in his place and purpose before vanishing. All right. When he was up there on the cliff, sitting on the cliff, after his hologram was pretty much toying with Kylo Ren, that was pretty much the symbol as he was looking into the distance and the sun setting amongst the clouds. That was pretty much a symbol of his peace and purpose fulfilled. You know what I mean? So he's trained his Jedi. For the most part, his Jedi went to Jedi somewhere else. He was unsuccessful with one. All right, he was unsuccessful with one, but he learned the greatest lesson of all, that his failure was not in vain, and he redeemed himself at the end by by taking on the lasers. By the way, that was pretty much an awesome scene. Awesome scene. So the sun setting pretty much symbolizes his peace and fulfillment of his purpose in life, being a teacher of the Jedi Force, or being a teacher of the Force. All right. The kid in the end who reached for the broom without touching it, did Luke train him, or is he a spawn of a Jedi? All right. Is he a Jedi child? Who knows? All right. Let me know what you guys think. Well, so I'm a little under the weather, but I'll feel better soon. All right. I'm going to take some medicine, drink a lot of tea, and off I go. All right. Maybe take a nap a little bit. So, post your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your review on Star Wars Last Jedi. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you wish. And as always, stay notified.